Hello, Internet, and welcome back to Neon Gods. I'm not going to do the whole stream like that. I could just talk like that and the intro would take the whole time and then we'd be done and none of y'all would get a chance to say anything. Hi, everybody. We are here to play some more Good Society with an asterisk next to it. We're here to play Neon Gods. It's a hacked version of Good Society that we have created to suit our diabolical purposes, or in this case, godly purposes. It's a game inspired by the Wicked and the Divine graphic novel series. If you missed our first couple of sessions, they've been wild so far, but we'll recap here in a second, as we do every time, as I remember how we recapped last time. I'm pretty sure we just did round robin. But before that, we have other shows going on this channel that you can enjoy, especially if you enjoy what you see here tonight, because a lot of them have very similar vibes. We will have our next session of Saturday Night's Pathfinders tomorrow at 4 o'clock Eastern time. No, 5 o'clock Eastern time. 4 o'clock. God, time zones are really going to be the death of me, everyone. 5 o'clock Eastern time, continuation of our Pathfinder series that Alex runs. We had a bit of a whoops-a-daisy last time, and some people got murdered, namely me. And we've had to cool off, and we're gonna come back and see what happens next. You can join us for that tomorrow. If you want to see the rest of our lineup, we've got a bunch of other shows going on pretty much every day during the week, except for Wednesdays is when we are scheduled to be live. You can see the full lineup of our scheduled shows below our faces if you're watching us live on Twitch. If you're watching us on YouTube some point in the future, head over to our Twitch page. You can see whatever we've got going on right now, because it's probably fun, whatever it is, because that's one thing we do consistently here. Nothing else. Fun and horny. Those two things we do very consistently on this channel. Yeah. So without any further ado, I guess we'll go ahead and introduce ourselves and talk about who we are and what we do.
I want to start calling it announcing ourselves.
We're going to announce ourselves. I need some. Can you cue up some like fanfare, trumpets and horns? I almost said hornets. That's not what I want.
You're the one running the music.
You're the one with the nifty little... Okay, thank you.
Oh, so I was just going to go...
Nope, I think that's more on brand. Hi, everyone. My name is Val. You can find me at the Kraken's Crown on Twitter and Twitch. I'm here Thursdays through Mondays playing and running games. Other than this game, I run our Saturday Night's Star Power series, which runs on Saturdays, alternating from Pathfinder. So same time, same place. But we play Fate in a JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, Jujutsu Kaisen anime bullshit inspired universe, and it's a lot of fun. Very dramatic right now. So come join us as we are wrapping up this campaign. Otherwise, I'm here for pretty much everything else except for Tuesdays. And yeah, tonight I will be playing the Morrigan. Did we do Desires last time? I don't think we said what our desires are.
We said them.
No, normally we have done that though, so I'm gonna start doing that. I play the Morrigan, whose desire is to unseat a member of the Pantheon, and they are the Capitalist, is their playbook, or whatever we're calling these. And I also play Nemesis and Miranda, and that's me. I don't remember who goes next.
It's me, Sammy. Hi.
Woo.
I go next, and I know this because I'm looking at all the technical shit and I can see everyone. Hi, I'm Savvy. I'm at Savvy Seaworth on the internets, mostly on Twitter, where you can find my streaming schedule pinned to the top of my page. I'm here Thursdays through Mondays, either playing in games or running them. I run 2 games on the channel, one on Sunday afternoons at 4 p.m. Eastern Time called Duskfall's Dead. It's a Blades in the Dark game about crime. It's about a group of assassins who are doing, well, they've done one assassination. The other one went a little sideways. We're coming up on the 3rd, so we'll see what happens.
Faked it real good.
They did fake a death real good. It was awesome. And then on Monday nights, I run a game called The Queer Chronicles of the Strixhaven Quartet. It's Magic College, baby, and it's awesome. It's great. I love it. It's Dungeons and Dragons. And we have a lot of fun over there as well. We're coming up on Fall Formal. After the pub crawl that we're doing right now ends. As you can tell, I'm following the module extremely closely. And when I'm not here, I'm on twitch.tv/lbhackemup playing Masks and soon to be playing D&D again. Which I'm very excited about. But tonight, I'm not doing any of that. Tonight, I play Hela, or Hel, from Norse mythology, whose desires to overtake their father and usurp his power. And I also play Apollo and Sabrina, Morrigan's personal assistant. Did I say everything I'm supposed to say? Hela's a rock star. You know who else is a rock star? Sid, who goes next?
Oh, that was a really sweet segue. Thanks. Hey, I am Christina Sid. You can find me on the Twitters at Greek Sid. Generally, just talking shit, really, and also talking about the TTRPG shenanigans I get up to on the internet. You can find me at the moment here. Sadly, our Critical Misses Queer Society had to go on a bit of a hiatus until the fall, but it's okay. We'll be back in the fall. So right now I'm just, like a GGK exclusive and stuff, whatever. But yeah, I promise on Thursdays run our game of Urban Shadows. We just have not been able to do it for a little bit because, life and stuff.
Because none of us have been able to do anything.
Yeah. Oh, Jesus.
Wait, y'all have lives?
Unfortunately.
About to not.
But yeah, that's 8:00 Eastern on Thursdays, generally speaking. It's scheduled then. It's a lot of fun. It's, monster fucking and smooches and a very strange mystery about fae queens and a very strange, adorable terrier puppy. Yeah. That's a sentence. But again, none of that right now. Tonight, I'm playing Meredith, aka Calliope, from the Greek mythology. Her desire is to find a way to inspire all of humanity. And she's the politician. Yeah.
And then it's Joe.
Hi. So, what they want me to tell you is that my name is John Ceda, and I'm the newest member of Game Nights, and that I'm playing Multnomah Joe. But the truth is that Val grew me in a vat, and they're keeping me locked up in a storage bin. I broke out the other night, and there's thousands of me just cloned and waiting. You all need to run. Be safe. Hide.
I'm doing my best to hunt them down. They can't get very far.
You can also find me at, I think, Mr. Wilt on Twitter. I don't know. I don't go on there very often. Joe's Desire. Multnomah Joe / Odin. Taking down the man, basically, is what it's kind of boiling down to. It's disrupting the rebirth cycle of the gods that we're all stuck in. Did I miss anything? Okay.
No, I think that's it.
All right.
Cool. We all did it. Awesome.
Game on.
Thanks, everybody. Good
recap.
night.
Good night. Thanks for coming to our show.
That took a lot. So yeah,
That
I
did.
think we're done.
Oof. Okay. Let's do a recap.
Yeah.
So, previously in this game, Neon Gods, we did some bookkeeping last time. Spread some rumors. Shoot, I don't know if we ever recap or our trending topics last time. I will talk about the ones that spread during our play, which is that Hela has a small faction of followers claiming to be vampires, and Fable is secretly looking for new representation. Also shared some, did our letters. I don't remember any of the details from those. Were there any super dramatic ones that came out?
Yeah, I texted Apollo pretending to be Meredith.
Right. Right.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So that happened. And there were some sweet messages from forgive me, Miranda to her niece.
Cousin, right?
So going with cousin.
To her cousin. And lots of other stuff. And then we had our convergence of the gods, our first official meeting of this cycle, as everyone met in a truck stop off of Route 66, somewhere in Texas. I don't know which. Yeah,
Did we
was
say?
that? I don't remember. Somewhere in the Southwest. And yeah, who else wants to decree? What else happened?
We introduced the limbo, our liminal space where we can ultimately control this mansion,
I guess
Tom
that
Bodette takes care of.
which
yes.
Tom Bodette takes care of. Yeah.
Explaining why we were at the truck stop on Route 66. That is where the entrance is. I don't want anyone thinking that we're just hanging out at a truck stop off of.
We could.
Why not?
Gods.
Serving food.
We do whatever the hell we want. We're gods.
Put it up there.
Half of us would never put up with that. Over half of us, probably. What else?
I'd say 7/8 of us wouldn't.
All right, now, y'all. I'm slowly converting some of you. I know I am.
Morgan and Hela made a deal.
Yes. They're going to be taking down Loki
In Joe's place.
in Joe's.
Oh yeah, I play Loki and Mars. Sorry, I didn't say that part earlier. Yeah.
Oh, right.
Yeah, I do those too. Yeah. Continue. Sorry.
Too late now, Sid. You failed my first test. And then we got a rather dramatic flashback from Odin as well, showing a bit of
That
the
was a rough one. Joe's a real nice guy. Odin is not.
showing some of the history of what was that Hela's birth, right?
Mm-hmm. How Odin proclaimed, like the opposite of proclaimed. My brain is not doing the English right well
Disclaimed.
right now. Yeah,
Proclaimed.
yeah. Whatever. Hates his son because of birthing this half undead monstrosity and almost threw Hela out the window.
And Morrigan was there.
Yes, and I did
Yeah.
spend a token to say that Morrigan
Right.
did spy on this exchange in the past. So
Yeah, thank you for that. I had forgotten that little bit.
I had also forgotten that part. So thank you. I need to make notes of things for sessions in the future. Okay, so we're still picking up as part of this novel chapter, this event chapter, with us all hanging out in the in limbo. Who has a scene that they want to do? Who wants to talk to who?
Well, Nemesis did agree to meet Hela for drinks.
Right. I definitely remember that.
That was
Okay.
my other letter.
Huh?
Because that was my other letter that I did.
That was your other letter. Yeah. Okay. We can start there.
Yes, please.
Okay. Where are we doing drinks? What does this space look like that we're in?
That's a good question.
Because it could be the like main area with the round table, the literal round table.
Can I
Or
spend
it could be some
a
sort
resolve
of
token for y'all to leave Limbo and go to a honky tonk bar somewhere here in Texas?
Because I was gonna say either I imagine Limbo can create any sort of space that we wanted, but also the honky tonk bar does sound fun.
That is funny. Nemesis.
I
I
sounds
will
like
give
she
that
would
to
hate
the
that.
ether.
I'll
Send
take
that out
that
to the ether.
ether token. Unless who does this hurt more?
I don't know.
Definitely
I think it's kind of a
Nemesis.
toss up.
Nemesis will take it. Now
Okay.
let's do
Essentially,
that.
the bar if the conversation goes wrong.
Oh.
Well, yeah, we'll see how this goes. Okay.
You need honky tonk music now.
I do need honky tonk. Oh, god damn.
Do you still have the stuff from Red River Legends?
Yeah, River Legends. You've got honky tonk stuff.
The question is, I do still have Red River Legends on here. Okay, hold on.
Yes, I love
How's
it.
this?
Love it, love it,
This
love
is
it.
perfect.
Sort of mellow honky tonk music. This is when everybody's
I'm about
done.
to kick in the saloon doors.
Yeah. Okay. So honky tonk bar somewhere in Texas, not too far from Limbo. Nemesis is meeting Hela there. Imagine it's late.
Yeah.
Okay. So Nemesis comes walking in. I don't think because we're specifically trying not to stand out, is wearing jeans. Like dark jeans and rather nondescript like bronze blouse. By nondescript, I mean it's like shiny as hell. But either way, it could blend in with a Dallas suburban cocktail party. And I hate that I have a perfect image for that in my mind.
It's your mom.
Yeah, it is my mom.
Oh no.
Because that's what I was thinking.
Yeah, is Hella already there?
Probably.
Okay.
Try to be a little polite.
Comes in, takes off her sunglasses, looks around, sees her, comes striding over. I'm surprised you're already here.
Why?
Usually you forget about these sorts of things.
I don't usually.
More often than not. Sits down.
There's a lot going on up here, okay?
Always scheming. Like your father.
You can leave out that last part.
Do you remember what I drink at least?
Not beer.
Am I supposed to be
Bourbon?
awarding points?
It's been a long time.
Bourbon, really?
I don't know. It seems classy, but also a little down to earth.
It'll do if that's all they have here.
No, they got a whole wall. Some of it's whiskey.
I'm seeing about 140 types of whiskey.
That one is scotch.
That one then.
Okay. Order. Scotch.
Neat, please. Crosses her legs, turns towards you. So, you wanted to have a drink.
Yeah,
Why?
you know, old time's sake.
Why?
Old time's sake.
And you expect me to believe that?
No, but I expect you to give me like a little leeway and not just death stare me off the bar stool.
Fine then. Small talk. How are things?
Terrible. I mean, great, but terrible. Duality.
So terrible or great. And great. How's the entertainment industry?
That's the great part.
Hmm.
It's going really well. Yeah. Stuck with Meredith when everything dropped. She does good
Stuck
work.
with or stuck with?
What does that mean?
One implies the being stuck with involuntarily, the other implies some sort of loyalty.
Little column A, little column B.
Hmm.
We all only have so much loyalty. But she does good work.
So, please, continue.
Yeah, it's going really well. I played Vegas. That was fun.
Exciting.
How are you?
Good. The firm is doing well.
Good.
Much better now that I have fewer distractions.
Right.
That brings me to a question, too, for Hella. Did their relationship, was that a prior cycle thing, or was that, like, this cycle earlier on?
That's a good question. I think it was probably a previous cycle. But still pretty recent, I guess. Like the last one.
Okay. So what, that would have probably been, like, the early 1900s? So, we're going, like, 100 years-ish? Sure, we going further. Wait, did we decide we were doing longer, further cycles? I don't remember what we said.
I don't remember.
So, insane. Turn of the
90 years,
century.
100 years.
Okay. Anyway, I was just curious. It doesn't impact anything right now, but... well, thrilling. So, now, can we get down to business?
Is it really so hard to believe that I just want to, like, hang out with you?
Alright then. We can simply have a drink then and catch up. As long as you swear to me that there will be no other conversation about the trial or your grandfather or anything else.
You know that's what I want to talk about, but I feel like I can still ask the question. It's really that hard to believe?
We haven't spoken in quite a long time.
You haven't
So-
spoken to me.
You haven't exactly made strong efforts to reach out either. I think the last I heard from you was, well, over 100 years ago at this point.
You told me I was the most arrogant person you'd ever met, that I was full of hubris, and that I would ultimately never amount to anything.
I believe that summarizes my words correctly.
You told me I was the most arrogant person you'd ever met, that I was full of hubris, and ultimately I would never amount to anything because of it.
That does summarize my point accurately.
Yeah, but you don't just say that to people.
Why not?
Because it's
It's the
rude
truth.
and it hurts feelings.
Well, if it hurts your feelings, then perhaps you should re-examine your life choices.
Why? I'm extremely popular and extremely rich, and I can afford to keep my hair like this.
I am simply speaking the truth. So if it offends you or hurts you in some way, then that is not a fault of mine.
No, the fault of yours is that you're a cold-hearted bitch who will never truly know love.
Perhaps.
I like that about you. It's a challenge.
I believed you found it endearing at first.
Mm-hmm. I did.
Well, relationship, water under the bridge then. What?
No hard feelings?
No. Having hard feelings would insinuate that I still cared.
Ouch.
I'm
Is it
sorry,
because
was-
half my face is rotten and dead under here?
No. Do you think I'd be so petty?
You know, we're in the South, and they do say if you can't say anything nice, don't say anything at all.
Are we going to continue to trade barbs back and forth, or...
I'm having a great time.
I know, because this is the sort of conversation that you enjoy. I find it tiresome.
Fine. You're boring. I want to talk about the trial.
No.
It wasn't a question.
I know, but your next question, the answer will be no.
Okay, I'll bite. What do you think I was going to ask?
If I can take it easy on, or perhaps give Joe some leniency,
No. Wrong.
then what were you going to ask?
Are you going to be able to be impartial?
I don't know why that keeps coming up.
Because you
course
act like
I
an
will.
asshole.
I treat disrespect towards the divine with disdain, as is my right. And I punish those for blasphemous actions.
Yeah, but here's the thing. You're not here to be judge, jury, and executioner.
No.
I would like
The
to
former.
token.
Oh, sorry, good.
I would like that Fenrir has the two of you have been so engaged in your conversation with each other that you've missed the bar chatter, the kind of low murmur of a bar quieting down to nothing, and missed the heavy booted footsteps approaching your table. And does anybody want to challenge that? Spend their own tokens, anything like that?
No, I'm fine.
Um,
That feels like a
then
token to Hela.
Sure.
Then
a big, hairy fist just doesn't punch the table, but just lands down on the table with the weight of something that large. And looking up past that, you see the spiked bracelet, the tattooed arms, the shorn off vest, the two silver chains, thick chains on either side of his shoulders running down his body, and like a cut off noose as a necklace around his throat up towards the thin but long and streaked with gray black beard, and the long hair coming down, and face speckled with prison tats, of Fenrir. And of course, both of you can also see Fenrir's, and like everywhere you can see that everyone has kind of made space for him in the way that someone that is dangerous and powerful does to a room. But because you guys can also see his true form, what you can really see is that is just making way for the massive dire wolf that dominates the inside of this building, and the like kid's bike-sized paw that is pushing down on the edge of the table. But I will just portray him through the mortal form for ease. And he says, "No, that's my job. Where is Odin?"
Hi. Nice to see you. How have you been? Want to catch up? Have a drink? No? Straight to business? Okay.
Fenrir,
Is there anything left of your drink?
Probably.
He reaches out and slams it and says, "There, we had a drink."
You.
Fenrir, I don't recall you being invited to this gathering.
When has that ever stopped him?
Are we in limbo either?
Should I leave you to discuss family drama?
No, stay. I'm sure he's going to leave in a moment.
Fenrir, this has nothing to do with you or your...
I don't care what this is. Where is Grimnir?
Around.
Around, as she said. Now, what do they say here in Texas? Move along, little doggy?
He leans over the table, and his long black hair hangs down over his face, and he turns first to the Morrigan, and then he turns to Jela, and he says, "Either one of you would struggle to strike even me down. I will find him." And he pushes off the table like a total fucking asshole, like jarring all of your drinks and shit. And he just storms the fuck out of the bar.
You see what I deal with?
That I do empathize with you for.
He can be really nice sometimes.
At least he did the courtesy of veiling his presence.
He's rude. He's not stupid.
Your family is half the reason why our relationship was never going to work out.
I didn't ask for them.
No. No, you didn't.
Yeah. Try growing up with basically everyone hating you because of what you look like. Your brothers are a wolf man and a snake. Your dad is also a snake. You don't know your mom. And you're attracted to people like you.
Perhaps the
Somebody
one
should
we're
cut me
dealing-
some slack.
Perhaps the one redeeming quality you have.
What? Oh, being attracted to you? It's miserable for me.
To answer your question, no, I will not be judge, jury, and executioner. Merely judge.
I just want you to put your hatred of my family away for a little bit and be fair. I'm not asking for leniency. I'm not trying to sway the vote. Just want everybody to chill the fuck out for like a second.
Well, that is why I believe it's in everyone's best interest for us to stay the trial for some time. To let cooler heads prevail.
Yeah.
The truth of it is, though, your grandfather did break the covenant that we all share.
I know what he did.
And his actions did nothing to redeem him in anyone's eyes. It's not merely me who will be biased by his actions.
You don't really think Joe's that stupid, do you?
No, which is what worries me. I fear there's a greater scheme in play.
Isn't there always with us?
That's why at the formation of the Pantheon I didn't want so many... Regardless. Decision's been made. Nothing we can do to undo that now.
Yeah.
What do you think?
About what?
About Odin's actions?
I think he's a selfish asshole. But I think that about most of you. I think he's an old man. And I think he's tired of being responsible for other people. And I can't say that I blame him. But I can't hold it against him.
Do you think that there is something more at play here?
As much as I want to say it's guilt, we don't really do that. I think he wants out. I don't really care why.
Then I suggest you use any time that you have to persuade him against whatever it is he's doing.
He's not going to listen to me.
Then make him listen.
He's
Because
not going to.
there is no out for any of us. We have a responsibility.
I'll try.
Perhaps we can chalk this all up to a mid-millennia crisis. And he's simply getting old.
Maybe.
Well, the drink was suitably terrible. But it was nice to catch up and speak a bit. I'm going to return to Limbo.
You sure you don't want to stay?
No, I'm growing weary of acoustic guitars and cigarette smoke. But I will return to my quarters. And if you wish to join me, I do have some frustrations I need to vent. This is not an invitation to restart our relationship, though. She stands up and walks out of the bar.
I just look at the cowboy that's like sitting at the next table.
The cowboy just says, "Hey, with that kind of invitation,
Yeah, you're right.
Do you zoom off after? Okay.
I Naruto run out of the bar.
She's very pragmatic. Maybe a sociopath. All right. I think that's the end of that scene.
Yeah.
Who else? I'm gonna turn off the cowboy music.
Oh no, the cowboy music.
We can go back to it if I can put on more cowboy music if we need it, but I do need my Slavic lo-fi back.
I'm pretty sure we left Apollo and Mars playing beer pong in Limbo. That's a sentence.
Are they a few kegs in at this point?
Oh, yeah. When did we say you had to throw it in your leg? We weren't doing that. Why do we have to do it now?
What?
You're throwing it on your leg and you're making it bounce and put it in the cup. We weren't doing that before.
No.
Then why'd you do it?
For fun.
Well, now you're showing off.
Yes.
Oh. All right, fuck it. And like turns around, like tries to throw it like under his legs to make it bounce.
Did it work?
No. It 100% didn't work.
Roll an acrobatics check.
Fuck.
You lack my skill.
Bested you in battle dozens of times.
Not this one.
This isn't battle, it's a game. It's different.
Fine. We shall battle.
All right. Literally just flips the fucking beer pong table and just jumps
Start
on him.
wrestling.
Yep.
I would love to hear the two of you though, like describe the differences in the way that they fight. Because they're not both the same exact type of big dumb jock dude.
No, they are not. Mars fights dirty. Mars will do literally anything to destroy in battle. It's kind of brutal.
I think Apollo's more like a trained wrestler.
I'll just say Morrigan comes out like halfway through this conversation, or halfway through this match.
Conversation.
This yeah.
It's a type of conversation. Ah! Why do you have sand in your pocket?
I thought we
Always
made
prepared.
I thought we made an agreement that there'd be no fornicating in the main common area.
They just both stop.
They just stare at her.
Look at her.
I'm sorry, was that too big of a word for both of you?
It was more the concept.
Well, it wouldn't be the first time that I found the two of you. There was that once in Rome.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
I'd forgotten.
Right.
That was good times.
Is that not what I'm finding here?
This is battle.
Yeah, battle.
Unfortunately, a bit bloodless for my tastes, but I merely came out to get a drink.
We have beer.
Yeah.
That I'll have to do. I think she grabs one of the kegs and just like tilts it up and starts drinking out of it.
Mars throws more pocket sand.
Ah!
Ha
Why
Every
do you
time.
even have sand?
Always prepared!
Would you like me to get a few swords? It was a joke.
Oh,
I swear, the two of you lose brain cells with each reincarnation.
I resemble that remark.
Is that a thing? Is that what happens?
No! I am an attorney. At law.
Right?
I mean, I've definitely been hit in the head a couple times on the field, but...
I swear, you used to be a genius at one point, Mars. Warfare, that is.
Nah. That was Athena's thing.
I think the pocket sand is rather smart.
Thank you!
I never see it coming.
Well, yeah, because you've got sand in your eyes.
We're all doomed.
No. We'll be fine. It's just a bit of fun.
Yeah. Loosen up, Morrigan.
Oh, I'm plenty loose. This isn't how I unwind.
What do you do?
I don't think we need to get into the specifics of that.
It's either sex or murder.
Maybe both.
Could be both. Done
It
both.
could.
Do you know how difficult it is to have a bloodbath, a literal bloodbath it is in this century? The quantity of blood, securing it on its own, it's ludicrously expensive. And there's lots of paperwork and forms.
I could help with that.
Can you now?
I am an attorney. At law.
That's law. Alright. Is there another kind of attorney?
No.
Right. Well, perhaps
Just fun
next
to
time
say.
I will secure the help of your firm in my next purchase. Do you have any need of cruise missiles at your firm?
Not currently, no.
No. Right. Then suppose I'll just have to hire you.
Seems fair.
Speaking of which, Apollo, I heard that you and I need to remember the M names. You and Meredith might be rekindling things again.
I'm hoping so.
You didn't tell me that.
Oh. Yes, I received a text message.
Oh. Nice.
And are you going to be going out again or taking her somewhere?
I'm going to try.
Well, we may be here for several days, so perhaps something local.
Are there nice places near here?
You know, I think I saw Hela and Nemesis going out to a bar not too far from here, but I don't know if that's necessarily Miranda's. Not Miranda's, Meredith's style.
We really did fuck you up with all of these
I know.
M names.
Sorry. So many M's. So many M's.
It always happens.
I just want to say I picked Morrigan before anyone chose any other
did.
names for characters.
Sorry, Val.
And Miranda and Meredith is way too close. It's gonna fuck me up for the rest of this campaign.
We know what you mean.
I feel really bad about that one. I struggled with coming up with any name for her forever, and then I just kind of last minute pulled that out of a hat. So I'm
And
probably
that's why
the-
you
the
don't get
final
outdoor
villain
privileges
of
this
the
week.
night.
Yeah.
That's why at the end of the month I'll be terminated and a new one will be put in my place.
You know, I believe there's going to be a concert or something not too far from here. Over near.
Really?
Hmm.
Who's playing? I have to make sure it's not one of her clients.
Uh,
I'm afraid that would feel too much like work.
does she represent a Garth Brooks?
The Garth Brooks.
Aye. I believe he's playing in Dallas.
I don't believe so.
I think that's exactly Meredith's style.
All right. I'll ask her. Thank you for the idea.
You're welcome. I can make reservations for you too at a local restaurant, maybe a steakhouse or something along those lines. Or is she still on the vegetarian?
I have no idea.
Lasagna, that's what it is. Maybe Italian.
Do they have that here?
Ah, you'll find they have most everything everywhere here.
An excellent idea.
I'll make reservations for you at an Italian restaurant then. And you can go there. Maybe in a limo. I'm going to prepare things. What'd you say? Tomorrow night then?
I'll make sure she's free.
All right. And I'll arrange the concert. I mean, the reservations.
Thank you, Morrigan.
You're very welcome.
In return, I shall help you arrange your next bloodbath.
Fair trade.
Look at us all working together again.
You both get a
Fantastic.
face full of pocket sand.
Ah!
I think Morrigan's hair starts to float up slightly as like dark mist begins to pool out of her eyes, looking over at Mars.
Pylon! She's pulled in. It's all three, you know.
She's shrieking. Black flame engulfing her.
Apollo's having a
Yay!
great time.
Yep.
Absolutely detests this man.
Which one?
Yeah, which one?
Mars.
Yeah, no, he's pretty horrible.
Specifically.
He's pretty bad.
I love that.
I will spend a resolve token if I need to arrange what I'm hoping is the perfect date for Meredith and Apollo. Garth
Sure.
Brooks felt like a good, like somebody Meredith would actually like.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
He's a talented man.
He's a very talented man.
I could have said like Florida Georgia Line or something and been like,
Oh no!
Or
They,
like,
all have, they have
yeah.
that one song everyone likes.
Yep.
is that the cruise song?
Present.
Baby,
yeah,
you
the
a
cruise.
song, you make me wanna roll my windows down and cruise.
God, that was my jam in college. Okay.
Yeah, I think Meredith gets that token.
Yeah, I'm
Because
spending
she's
that
the one that's
token
going to suffer.
to give Meredith the perfect date with somebody she seems to hate now.
She'll take it.
Because chaos.
Because chaos.
And also, I'm assuming that Garth Brooks is not planning to play there, but the Morrigan is like arranging that concert like last minute.
That's amazing.
Yeah. Spends a lot of money just to watch this happen.
They're going to go to the concert to watch Garth Brooks, and then Morrigan's going to grab all of the rest of the group, and they're going to go watch this date. And that will be their entertainment for the evening.
Yes. I
love it.
These idiots.
Yeah.
So, do we want to just do the date now?
I mean, is he going to ask her?
Or does
Is
Odin
Morgan
/
just gonna, like-
Fenrir want to do have any other shenanigans to get up to?
I think Fenrir's stuck outside. He's not like actually a god, so he doesn't have.
He's an
access
outdoor
to
dog.
Yeah, he is.
If
a dog.
you're cold, he's cold. Let him in.
Let him in.
But and Odin, for the most part, is just kind of playing it a little passive for the moment, letting if anybody wants to go to him, they can go to him. But he's not trying to stir up extra shit on top of the shit that he stirred with all that.
I guess Hella should probably tell Joe that Fenrir's looking for him. That would be the nice thing to do.
So I don't get eaten immediately after walking out of the truck stop.
We could do that and then the date.
Yeah.
Because that'll probably be a quick conversation.
That do.
She just walks by the food truck. Yeah, friend was trying to kill you. Okay, bye.
Bye.
Well,
Where's
Odin's in limbo. Yeah, how do we find where each other are?
We just know.
Space?
Yeah,
Is it like a mental thing? You just kind of like go, I'm thinking of this person, and you go towards that thought.
I mean,
like that.
Yeah, I figured we all have the level of power, at least of a CW TV star, which is to always know who the person
Of
you
Archie from Riverdale.
Yeah. So
Perfect.
if Jughead has this power, I think we all have this power.
I like the idea too. Like if you just go to any door and knock on it and think of that person, and then you're like in their spot, and they can tell you to come in or not.
Do you have to be invited in?
Yeah, you have to be invited in.
I would say so. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like godly domains. Yeah.
Hey, which one of us gets the mark of Cain? Oh no, now I have to think about Supernatural for the next 3 days. I was on the way to Nemesis's door.
Nemesis? No,
Nemesis?
not multiple.
Nemesis?
Nemesis.
No, it's only one Nemesis.
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 Knock, knock, knock. Joe.
You get a welcome. And I guess you just kind of like move into the space. It's not an internal space. First you feel the slight chill. It's not cold, but it's a nip, and it's familiar. It's almost like the feeling of Christmas, but for us, it's a little different. And then as soon as that little nip of chill hits you, you know that you know everything else that's about to fall into place. You see the edge of the plateau on the side of the mountain, the sharp angles of gray, speckled with trees reaching up tens and hundreds of feet into the air. A bright green cloak across a massive space, covered in an over blanket of white. Snow everywhere. And you hear the sound of ravens, the caw, the howl of a wolf, crackle of distant thunder. And you look up and you see the early morning, barely dawn, pale blue sky, streaks of gray, and unwillingly, you're reminded of your grandfather's eye. And then you look around and you see Joe. Yeah. And he is standing next to a massive oak barrel that has been turned on its side and put on supports and converted into a steam house. Like we did back in the day. He is, as best you can tell, probably naked with a white, like, hotel-style bath towel wrapped around his waist. And he is holding, say, like a newspaper in his hand, and he's reading the cover page of a newspaper. As you, your vision and your movement, I feel like your divine essence moves into that place as you're beginning to observe it. So you just you're now just like a few feet, whatever's comfortable for you, whatever distance is comfortable for you at that time. That's how far away from him you are.
Old-fashioned. I hate it.
Oh.
It's cold in here.
It's a lot warmer in there, but
Can't
how about this?
have plans.
He snaps his fingers and it's Coachella. Like, just 100% Coachella.
It's a little more
Imaginary,
messy.
like, amorphous. You can tell, like, just being in this place that none of these humans are actually there, that they're just like little puppety things, but it's a whole lot warmer here. And Odin is now dressed in a pair of like cut-off jean shorts, and a yellow fishnet tank top, and he's got a one of those beer hats. I don't remember what they're called, like the beer drinky hats, but it's got like Viking horns put into it as well. And of course his arms are covered in candy, and he's just tuning along. Sure this is better? I do like it though.
You do you.
All right. And he just like grabs you by the wrist and leads you into the crowd.
Okay. Really? Have plans. Can't stay.
What'd you come here for then? Come on.
I come
hang
with
out
a
for a minute.
warning. Fenrir's here.
Total darkness. Just you and him. I say total darkness. We can see each other, but nothing else. What?
Sorry to ruin your party. Fenrir's here.
Oh, well, good.
And he's looking for you. Just thought you should know.
It's been looking for me for a long time.
Well, he's just about found you.
He's found me before. We know how the story goes.
Why do I bother talking to you?
Why do I bother to try to explain myself?
You're not trying to explain yourself. Every time I try to talk to you, it's just, I know, it's always been the same. It's always the same with us. Everything comes full circle. The snake eats its own tail. I'm so fucking sick of it. It's boring.
Me too.
just came here to try to be nice and warn you that my brother probably wants to rip your throat out and swallow you whole.
And he will. Want to. I appreciate it. I do. I'm sorry.
Trying to be nice.
This isn't easy for me either. I know what people
No,
are
I'm sure
saying.
it's so difficult being an old man whose one purpose is to ruin my happiness.
I was going to say to be a father and grandfather who's being put on trial by his friends and family for anything, for any reason. That's what's hard for me here. But you're right. I've made some choices that have made my life more fun. Fuck me, huh?
So many mean comments just came to the surface. I'm gonna keep them to myself. Can you guys try to get along, please?
What, me and Fenrir? I love that guy.
You and anybody, Joe.
Trying really hard with somebody.
Anybody that's not Apollo, he gets along with everybody.
Please. Never mind. Have fun with your thing. I'll be here till we're done with our little congregation.
Try to play nice, okay?
I will.
Have fun at Coachella. Zooms out the door.
I think as you're zooming out, Joe stays in the dark.
Sad boy Odin.
How about that date scene, though?
Let's do the date. Let's want to take our break first.
I guess
Should we
my
take our
question
break
is,
first, and then
Yeah, let's figure out what the seat's gonna. What's his question first?
No, cold cut straight from Sad Boy Odin to the fun date scene.
wait, you all have decided that they're going on this date. Has anyone actually talked to
No, he's gonna
Calliope?
ask.
Oh, let's go. Let's do that,
do that.
and then we'll do the date. I
Wait,
assume.
we're not in the 1950s?
Yeah. When a man says he wants to go on a date,
Come
with you,
on, my little Dave. We're going on a date.
Apollo grew with the
Okay.
times.
Meredith is in her domain, aka her room.
Super loud knocking. Not on purpose.
It
Just
you
is.
can't help it.
He can't help it. He's a big idiot.
I have large fists. Sorry.
All I'm imagining now is that fucking scene from JoJo's where that fool is looking through the keyhole and then goes, oh no, he's a Joestar.
yeah, he went from All Might to JoJo.
He's a JoJo, a little bit.
Yeah, a little bit.
Not the
With the
one whose hat is also his hair. Fucking idiot.
Not that one.
I hate that guy.
Oh no.
I love him. Sorry. Knock, 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 very loud.
You get the cut into her room. Her room is just like the all white liminal space that you would think of and see in movies and television shows. And she's just sitting on a lovely dark green cushion, like meditating. And she hears the huge knock. I don't even know why I'm asking, but who is it?
It is I, Meredith! Apollo!
As soon as she stands up from the cushion, it sort of dissolves and disappears. It's just the plain white space again. And She goes to the door. Fixes her hair. Opens it. Apollo. Hello.
Hello.
Were we congregating again? Or did you need something?
I wanted to ask you something.
All right. What did you need?
Do you have plans tomorrow night?
No. I needed to go back to the city later this week, but no, not tomorrow. Why?
There is a Garth Brooks concert in Dallas, and I wondered if you would attend with me.
Garth Brooks is in Dallas. I thought
Yes.
I swear he was on the East Coast and then going to Europe tomorrow night.
Yes, I thought maybe we could have dinner and attend a show.
Huh. She's completely lost the fact that he's actually asking her on a date. She's now like, her brain is like whirling, like,
Who scheduled that?
yeah, exactly. Okay. I think he at least has a couple more years on his current contract, but sure. Sure. Yeah, I can make a couple of calls for dinner. Try to get to us.
Everything is
backstage.
already arranged.
You got tickets to Garth Brooks tomorrow.
Well, I had some assistance, but yes.
Oh. And dinner?
Also arranged. And we have a ride, I believe.
Oh. Brain whirling again, trying to think of something else to like bring up. But yeah, he has it covered. All right. When should I meet you?
An excellent question. I assume he knows when they should leave.
Sure. All right. I'll meet you in the meeting area.
Excellent.
All right. I'll see you then.
Great. See you then.
Good night.
Good night. Just kind of walks off.
You have sand right here?
Ah, pocket sand.
Good night.
Doesn't explain. Keeps walking.
Just very slowly closes the door. All right. Just goes back to meditating, looking very confused.
Okay. So let's take our break here. We'll come back for the date. And I think I have arranged what I would believe to be the perfect date for Meredith and Apollo. So I will tell y'all what that is.
Oh, you've been scheming, haven't you?
Yeah.
For the last 20 minutes, yes.
Yay!
So that's what I'm gonna drop on y'all. And then I really want Sita and I to just play the ridiculous NPCs that pop up throughout this.
Yeah! Do it.
One of us will have to play Garth Brooks though, so we can fight over that.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I'm down.
All right. Sweet. All right. We're gonna take our break, y'all. So those of you watching, stay tuned. We will be back here in a few minutes to continue our game. So stay tuned, stretch, hydrate, whatever you need to do, and we'll see you back here shortly. Welcome back, Internet. Thanks for hanging out with us. So we took our break. We're gonna we're gonna get back to it. We've got a date to do.
Why do you sound surprised that we're back?
I don't know. That's my thing. I just always liked if I act like I don't know what I'm doing constantly, then nobody expects anything from me, and then I get to surprise
The
people.
low
and do things that are
expectation
common.
bit. I've been
Yeah.
doing that for almost 40 years.
Yeah.
Why, you do work in corporate America.
You know, it makes me come across as like just a boss you could grab a beer with.
All right. Okay. We are in Texas.
All right. So, date. Where do we want to start with this?
Well,
Should
you
I
gotta
just
put the
describe-
cowboy music back on.
Do I need to put the cowboy music
Because we're
back on?
doing cowboy
I have
things
different-
today.
Okay, I have different cowboy music that we can do. That's something
Today's
that's
Cowboy
less.
Day.
All right,
Today is
hold
Cowboy
on.
Day.
Apparently.
What else do I have? I have this. This is a little. I don't remember if this one picks up or not. We'll go with this for a bit. I need to change. I've got some others that are like way more like, because these were all like cowboy, like less country, more cowboy. But yeah,
We said we were in Texas.
yeah,
It's the cowboy place.
it is the cowboy place. You are correct. All right. So, should I just describe what the Morrigan has done
Yes.
for
What
this date?
did she do?
What did she do?
Okay. So I
Apollo's
think-
about to have the time of his fucking life.
I think first, they both wake up, or like at some point when they are coming out of the rooms, and there's a like hanging on the door frame or like across the hall or whatever next to the door on a hook or something, is a like a garment bag for both of them, and gets Apollo just a perfectly tailored suit. What would Apollo wear? What would Apollo's fashion be?
Attorney at law.
Like really out there, or something more like subdued, or
I think he's that
pinstripes?
guy that a very, very subtle pinstripe.
Okay.
And does wear like a pressed like white shirt, but like the top 3 buttons are open.
Okay.
Refuses to wear a tie.
Okay. I'm imagining very tailored, like modern fit.
Oh, yeah.
Slimming.
Well, he has to get all of his suits custom made probably because he's massive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like he's like a
Okay.
Giorgio Armani ad.
Okay. And then a just fabulous dress for Meredith. What colors for Meredith?
Green. Greens and blues, yeah.
Greens and blues, yeah.
Definitely.
But something very not too revealing, like classy, but just like the right amount of slutty.
Now you're talking about
There's a
Nice
word
voice.
for that. We
Yeah.
call it sexy.
No, just like the right amount
No.
of like slit like up the thigh, and some matching pumps for it too, just and probably some sheen to it. I don't know about dazzles, but like a very shiny material.
She finds the garment bag. She's about to get very upset. Like, what the hell is going on here? Opens it up, like, stops. Zips it back up and immediately goes back into her room. It's like, I was gonna say something bad about this, but now I can't because I actually like it a lot.
And I imagine when they both meet up, like outside of the limbo entrance. If y'all want to do anything, or I'll just keep describing what happens next.
I have a small input.
Hmm.
Just for a little bit of background. As you guys are leaving the truck stop, a biker gang just goes like peeling past you with Fenrir at the lead. That's all. Not going the same direction, even just as you guys are like pulling out of the parking lot of the.
Well,
of
I'll
the
get to that in a
stop.
second, what they pull out, and because that won't necessarily be the right descriptor.
You look amazing.
No.
Is it a fucking helicopter?
Thank you. I would like to take credit for it, but it was left outside of my quarters today.
I have a suspicion.
So it wasn't you.
No. Women's fashion is not my strong suit.
That's very fair. It was Morrigan, wasn't it?
Yes. Perhaps. Most likely.
What is she up to? Like, what's the
Helping.
deal? She doesn't do that. So there's something else going on. Any idea? Okay, why am I bothering to ask you? Okay, that's
I
very sweet
agreed
of
to
her.
help her arrange a source of blood, legally, and through the proper channels.
Okay,
And she's helping.
all right. We'll go with that for now.
Which is basically what happened.
As the
That's true.
biker gang peels out over the roar of their choppers, another chopper is heard as a helicopter comes settling down a few hundred yards away, so it's not like kicking up dirt and dust all over y'all in the parking lot of the truck stop, probably confusing a lot of the truckers that are actually using it for its intended purposes.
Thank you. You look very nice as well.
Thank you.
All right. Just very confused. Like, this is all really nice. What is the other shoe dropping? What is this? Goes into the helicopter.
Pilot comes out and helps you in, gives you your earmuffs, and takes off towards Dallas. And it's like, I think it probably does like one swoop like over the city as like the sun is setting and like lights coming up and stuff, and where it finally sets down is a small airfield on the outskirts of the city where a town car is waiting for the two of you.
Thought of everything.
Hollow opens the door.
Thank you. So you offered to get her fun, and this is what you wanted in exchange?
That is sort of how the conversation went. More or less.
You could have asked her for any debt you wanted.
Oh, she offered to hire me. I asked for... Well, asked for is a strong word. Agreed to let her help, more like.
I see.
So I offer my services in exchange.
Huh.
You have that look.
What look?
The one where you are thinking something is wrong, but you don't want to say it out loud.
That look. That's usually how my face looks all the time. Not sure what her game is.
There doesn't have to be a game.
There's always a game with Morrigan.
Well, we're on even ground. I do something for her. She does something for me.
I suppose.
I'll bring our scene along to the restaurant then.
Okay.
As the car pulls around to in Highland Park in Dallas, Texas, one of the more upscale areas of the city, on a little street corner, a white brick, like stucco roof, or red. What's this? Like the slate tile roof. Terracotta roof building. Thank you. Is a Italian restaurant called Ficini. I'm doing a literal plug for this restaurant here. You go, and the town car lets you out into the at the front of the restaurant, where the server is already waiting to greet you. Comes out, the hostess says, "Hello, you must be Miss Meredith and Mr. Apollo. It's a pleasure to have you here. Please come in. We have your private dining room ready for you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Please follow me." Leads you in. One of the waitstaff holds the door open as they lead you inside. A few of them giving you like very confused looks, like who these people might be that had this room reserved for them like last minute. Set of stairs leading up a narrow brick entryway to the second floor of the restaurant, and then around a corner to a room set aside just for the two of you, candle lit, with a small dining table, a bottle of champagne already chilling at the table for the two of you, and the hostess lets you both sit. I will have the chef out to give you our specials for the evening. If there's anything you need, would you like any additional drinks? The champagne is complimentary, of course. If you would like any cocktails or anything else, I can take your order for those now.
Gin, martini, dirty, 2 olives, please.
Yes, ma'am. And for you, sir?
Scotch.
Yes, sir. Right away. I will see you shortly. And she rushes out.
This is quite incredible for such short notice.
I agree.
Comes back with the drinks. The chef will give you the rundown. They're famous for their 100-layer lasagna, and which is a literal thing that they have at this restaurant. I can't believe
Shut up,
it.
really?
Yeah, it is. They are literally famous for their
Sounds like a great
100-layer
place.
lasagna.
That sounds really good.
Yeah.
Next time I'm in Dallas, I'm going to, what is it called?
Ficini.
I'm going to Ficini's.
Yeah.
Wow.
Proud sponsor of the show. No, just kidding.
Future sponsor of the show.
Future sponsor of the show. But yeah, they also serve lobster ravioli, veal chopped marsala, and flounder piccata. So yeah,
I mean, obviously.
it's getting 100
She's having, yeah, she's getting the lasagna.
I think they already have it ready for you. Is the Morrigan news? So that's what you're gonna get. Special tray baked just for you. But yeah, comes out, gets your orders, all that stuff.
It truly is lovely.
I think so.
What? Apollo, what is it that you want here?
To spend time with you.
That's it.
Yes, at its core.
Oh. You don't have a case you needed some inspiration on, or?
No. I am taking a bit of time away from work for, well, the trial.
Of course. I'm sorry, I'm not usually this at a loss for words, I suppose.
You seem uncomfortable.
Not entirely. I just don't think I've done this in a long time.
And that is a shame.
Yes, I suppose it is. Well, how are you?
Good. I work quite a bit. I am glad to have the time off. It's nice to see everyone.
Yes. In the typically strange fashion, it is.
How are you?
Well, the agency's doing wonderfully. And
Yes, so I hear.
yes, Fable's career has skyrocketed.
It's good for them. And you?
It deserves definitely as well. Can I ask you something?
Of course.
Do you ever either this go around, I suppose, or previous ones, it's never hard to quiet the more human side?
I suppose. At times. I find myself becoming quite invested in my clients.
Meredith, I used to perform. Never very successfully, though. Well enough, but not as well as those around me. It's been lovely to fully inspire those around me, but I don't quite think it's enough for me. Does that make any sense at all?
Yes. You feel her desire as well as your own.
Yes.
I suppose that's bound to happen when we exist the way we do.
Can I tell you something?
Of course.
I sometimes go out to smaller venues and I perform under a pseudonym.
Really?
Yes, I know. It's quite silly. But I don't use my magics. I just perform.
For fun?
Yes, for fun.
I like that. You should do more things for yourself.
Oh. I don't know. Don't really have the time.
All due respect. You're a god. You could make more.
True. True.
Or simply pause everything else for a time. Do what you like.
What about you? Do you do anything for yourself?
Sometimes. Well, humans have to work to maintain forms such as this. So, well, I don't necessarily need to, but I do, all the same. It's fun.
Are
I
you
find it
telling me you
relaxing in
work
a
out?
strange way.
And is that for you? Or what is your current form's name? Was their name?
I never asked.
Huh. Huh.
I don't know. I suppose a bit of him is in there. I am continuing his gym membership.
Oh, well, that's understandable. They're very difficult to come by and get rid of.
And it is a locally owned place, so I feel good about supporting them.
Oh, that is nice.
Yes, I suppose it's a bit of both.
Huh. I like that. A bit of both. You carrying on? Well. To Garth Brooks?
To Mr. Brooks. I never saw that film. I wonder if he was any good in it.
Just drinks.
And at this point, your entrees arrive. The servers come to provide you your dishes for the evening, as well as pour you a bottle. They uncork a bottle of wine. The hostess comes in, the server comes in again and says, and we did receive via carrier today the bottle of the red Refosco as requested, along with best wishes sent from Signor Pontoni himself for the lovely couple, and sets down the bottle. Of course, this is a bottle of wine. It goes for about $500 a bottle. Sets that off to the side for the two of you, and coming in is a kind of stout gentleman who moves to the corner of the room and begins serenading the two of you with Italian operatic music, and he does this for a
Wonderful.
moment, for a few minutes, until the hostess comes back and says, "Actually, Senor, we received a call, and she said that that'll probably be too much for the two of them. We'll still compensate you if you come with me. He's, oh, yes, of course. And he begins to leave as well.
You were wonderful.
Spectacular. Take my card, please. Okay.
Takes the card. He says, I'm sorry for that. The hostess does, and then escorts him out. So that's the rest of the evening. Of course, you are also comped 2 plates of tiramisu to end your meal. So yeah, and then you're taken to the concert.
At some point on the car ride there, or maybe like uses the restroom and just pulls out her phone and calls the Morrigan.
Meredith.
Okay, what in the hells is this about?
Whatever do you mean, darling?
What is this? This extravagance. What is your game here?
Oh, you're on your date with Apollo right now. I forgot all
No.
about that.
Oh, I'm sure you did.
How's it going?
It's beautiful and ridiculous and
Did you enjoy the wine? I'm not sure it was Enzo's best here. I much appreciate, much preferred prior vintages, but I found it to be satisfactory.
it was delicious, yes.
And the tiramisu. Oh, the lasagna. Of course, the lasagna. I assume that was your...
Is quite possibly the best I've ever had.
Hmm.
Except for Joe's. I have to admit, it was literally the best.
It's hard to live up to. Unfortunately, though. They don't have gods working in the kitchen.
Of course. Okay, it's lovely. Is this a dat? What is this?
No, can't I just give 2 of my oldest friends a wonderful evening together?
Who are you and what have you done with the Morrigan?
Listen, just enjoy yourself, love.
I will find out what this is about.
Does it have to be about anything? Can't... As a goddess of fate and destiny, can't I just give 2 people the chance for something wonderful? Can't I just make every effort in this cruel and unforgiving world to help love bloom between 2 beautiful people such as yourselves?
Are you done?
I was going to go on with the, if you had the chance to change your fate, but I felt that that would be too on the nose. I have always wanted to say that to someone, though.
I mean, please feel free. I mean, we're here, so.
Well, would you? Would you, Meredith?
All right. Well, glad you got that out of your system then.
I did. Thank you.
It's lovely. Thank you.
You're very welcome.
We'll see you later.
Enjoy yourselves. Don't come back too early now. Oh, and give Garth my regards.
You know
Thanks,
Garth. Okay.
I'm so glad I got to work that into.
If you had the chance to change
If you
your
had the chance to
fate,
change your fate,
would you?
would you? Oh, jeez.
You
I
reference
don't know where I'm
Brave.
going with that accent.
I reference Mr. Brooks. 2 types of people.
There are 2 wolves inside
There's
of
a
you.
DVD copy of Mr. Brooks sitting on my kitchen counter right now. That's a whole story.
So, imagine you get to the concert venue, You have a private box to view the concert from. Of course, wouldn't have you standing down there with the masses.
Of course.
Which you are.
This economy?
Yeah. Which you are served drinks and whatever else you might desire while in your booth watching the concert. I don't know if you want to do anything during the concert if itself.
When there's like a lull.
Oh, I forgot to mention. The chicks are opening up for Garth Brooks.
Yes, yes, yes.
Dixie Chicks too?
Yeah. They're just the chicks now.
They're the chicks now.
They're the
They dropped the
chicks.
Dixie.
Got it.
Hmm.
Good for them.
Because of racism.
Good.
Yeah, because of racism.
Yeah, but they are opening up for Garth.
I love them. Do they sing Goodbye Earl? That's my favorite song.
Mm-hmm.
Unironically love that song.
Which then leads right into the
Same.
Thunder Rolls.
It's just a murder fest up in here.
Murderfest!
Listen,
Hey!
Earl fucking deserved it.
Earl was a piece of shit.
And
Good
dark.
fucking riddance.
I feel like it would have been
Wrapped
actually
up
so
in
much
that
better if
tarp,
Garth had opened
Earl.
for them and it had been Thunder Rolls lead straight into Goodbye Earl.
Goodbye, Earl.
That would be
Yeah.
really funny.
That would
Actually.
be powerful.
Extremely powerful.
The chicks are extremely powerful.
They are.
When there's a lull. I'm gonna make it awkward. You ready?
Yes.
You've been warned. Oh! I meant to say, I apologize for not responding to your text message.
Just now?
No, a few nights ago.
What? Remind me, what did I say? It's been quite a few days. What?
Of course.
What?
You sent that nice photo. And said it was good to see me, and we should do something, so. I apologize for not responding, but I hope this is enough of a response.
This is most certainly a response. Do you mind? Can I see that photo?
Sure.
I'm a stickler for lighting. What was the photo of? I forget from last time.
I just said it was a picture of Meredith. I don't
okay.
think I ever said.
Okay.
It's just like a nice, like a cute. Nothing too
Cute.
risque.
A headshot.
Like something like
Could it be a
pretty.
photo that she took at the concert that they were at together? One that
Something that would make it very evident that.
no, Hella wasn't there at that. I don't know why I was remembering because Apollo was there, and so I just put
Yeah.
Savannah. Yeah.
But could it be a photo from like Hella and Meredith being together at some point? So it's
Yeah, like
very
it's
obvious.
some event or something, or Meredith looked really nice and there's a picture. And
What if Hella took a picture of Meredith at the camp table on session 1, like at night, lit by like bad
like the
lighting, just
firelight.
yeah.
Yes. You look
Right.
lovely.
Thank you.
Anyway, it was rude of me not to respond. I apologize.
Not at all. This is, as you said, quite the response.
I'm glad you think so. I'm having a nice time.
I am too.
I'm glad.
I will admit, I did miss this easygoing attitude of yours.
You're easy for me to be around.
You may be the first person, either mortal or immortal, that's ever said that. would you like to do this again?
Very much so.
All right. I'll take care of the arrangements this time around.
If it would make you happy.
Nothing would make me happier.
I will arrive when you instruct me to.
Perfect.
As the concert winds down, there's a knock at the door to the booth that y'all are in, and one of the
I'll get it.
You open the door to one of the staff wearing their lanyards. Says,
Hello.
Hi, Mr. Apollo.
Yes.
Right. I have instructions to bring you and one Miss Meredith backstage for your face-to-face with Mr. Brooks.
Oh, wonderful. I would like to ask him about his film.
A lot of people do.
Okay.
Shall we?
Make sure she has cards available. And yeah. Well.
Like snipe Garth Brooks from his
Oh, hell yeah. Why do you think she agreed to this date in the first place?
Trisha's gonna hate that.
Please follow me. And they begin to lead you down some passages and
Well, this is
through
exciting.
security.
We are significantly overdressed compared to most of the other concert goers.
I would rather be over than underdressed.
It's just a lot of
Exactly.
cowboy boots.
I learned that from you.
Oh. Well, it's a very good philosophy to have, in my professional opinion.
If you are overdressed for the occasion, everyone else is simply jealous.
That definitely sounds like me.
Finally getting through security, goes to the small like green room area and knocks on a door. Mr. Brooks,
Yeah.
I have some guests here to see you.
Fans!
Oh, hell yeah. Send them on in.
Please go in. Opens the door for the two of you to enter.
Hulking man in a suit.
Garth, he steps up. He's wearing this is fully after the show, right?
This is right after the show, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. All right. He's still wearing his outfit, which probably, really would have been probably some jeans, boots, and a graphic tee, and a hat. I would imagine.
He wears a
right? So-
black button down a lot of the time.
Okay.
And a matching black cowboy hat.
Yeah.
All right.
In case you needed to know that I was from Alabama.
I would say he's maybe he's got the cowboy hat sitting on a table nearby, and he's kind of he's got the black button down unbuttoned a little bit, and he's holding an acoustic guitar that you could tell as you were approaching that he'd been strumming a little bit. And you guys come in, and he looks both of you up and down, and he says, "Well, hell, y'all are a couple of striking figures, aren't you?" And he looks Apollo from to his feet all the way to the top of his head, and he just he takes in Meredith and just there's a big sigh and says, "Well, hello, my name's Garth. Nice to meet y'all."
Hello,
It's
Mr. Brooks.
a pleasure to meet you, Mr. Brooks.
Yeah, yeah, a pleasure to meet you too.
I am Apollo.
Do you give him? He sticks his hand out for a handshake.
Oh, yeah.
Do you give him the
Yeah.
kind of handshake? Yeah, is that his
His whole
style?
hand covering
Okay.
his hand, part of his wrist.
It's half the
Mhm.
reason why I
Yeah.
got into law is
Yeah,
just
so you-
power handshakes.
You
Okay.
jiggle Garth Brooks.
Shake Garth Brooks up a little bit.
He goes, all right. That's a strong damn handshake. All right. Well,
This is Meredith.
Meredith, pleasure.
Pleasure.
You are a sight to be seen, the two of you. Such as, oh man, lucky I am to have you here in my concert. What brought y'all on? I have a suspicion it has something to do with why I'm out here.
Yes, a friend of ours, well, has a little too much time on their hands.
And a lot of money.
Yes.
Well, yeah. Yeah, I reckon I'm not cheap these days, but it's fine. People got time on their hands. I come out here and play. I'm just happy to play for everybody. What a show, too, man!
It was wonderful.
Yeah, it's incredible. Your friend, whoever they are, they must have a lot of connection to put together this kind of show. Oh, like seemingly overnight. It was like so. Great turnout. I had a blast, man. I had a blast playing for you. So what brought you all out here? It looks like you're on a date. Is that right?
Yes. For old time's sake.
Hey. Yeah. You sure about that?
We are
What do you mean?
very old friends.
Oh, shoot. No, all right. Well, excuse me. I understand now. All right. Don't even worry about me. Would y'all like a drink?
Certainly, if you're having one.
Yeah, and he pulls out a bottle of Garth Brooks drinks.
Johnny
What
Walker
does
Blue.
Garth Brooks?
Kentucky bourbon.
Probably.
I don't.
Probably.
Jack Daniels.
Yeah.
We're sorry, Garth Brooks, if that's not your drink of choice.
Yeah. It's all right. I haven't stalked you that much that I know what your favorite liquor is. All right. So, but yeah, I think Jack Daniels sounds about right? So he pulls out 3 tumblers and, put some ice in them, pours out some shots of Jack Daniels and flops back on the couch of the green room. So what do y'all do?
I am an attorney.
Yeah. Come think of it. I reckon
You may have seen my billboards.
I don't. Well, I mean, I fly a lot. You don't see a whole lot of billboards, but I swear you've done some of those celebrity cases. You've done some of those high-level cases that end up on the news, right?
Yes, I have been on television before.
Yeah. And
I went viral once.
He leans conspiratoriously over towards Meredith and goes, I bet you he is on the TV.
Yeah.
And what about you? Wait a second. No, I know you too. Well, why the hell don't you represent me?
I believe because you have at least 3.5 years left in your contract, but when you're able, slides over her card.
Well, I've heard about Fable, so, that man has been doing well, and I think a lot of that has to do with you, you doing some incredible things.
She is incredibly talented.
Oh, well, the talent is simply in encouraging others.
I would like to spend a token.
Okay.
And here's a question that I've been a little bit foggy on, actually, is when we spend a token, are we spending it into nothingness? Are we spending it, or are we giving it to somebody?
You're typically
That's-
giving it to somebody is like
Okay.
the most of it, but if there isn't anybody specifically that action is impacting, then you're just
goes to the
spending it.
universe.
Yeah.
Okay. I think the character that would definitely receive the most amount of psychological damage would probably be Meredith in this case.
Oh no, God, what?
The toilet of the green room flushes. And Joe steps out, like burping. And Garth just looks up and says, "Oh, hey, man, come on back in. Sure, you've been in there a minute. What the hell did you eat earlier?" Everybody, Apollo, Meredith, this is
Joe!
We
You
We know each other quite well.
Joe is red-nosed, rosy-cheeked, bleary-eyed, a little wobbly, drunk. And he looks at the two of you and just goes,
What a surprise!
oh, this ain't awkward for y'all, is it?
No!
Not at all.
All right, yeah. I don't have to be a rocket scientist to tell that there's something going on here. Shoot.
We just didn't know that you knew
How
Joe.
the hell do you know Joe?
Joe is a very old friend.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh. And Joe goes back into the bathroom, shuts the door, and you immediately hear the sound of vomiting.
Oh my.
Shit, y'all, that's not very professional now, is it? Joe, come on, man. I got guests in the green room.
It's fine,
Brought you in
really.
here 'cause I haven't seen you in forever.
So you know Joe quite well as well?
I mean, you know, man, we knew each other a long time ago. You say you're old friends, man. I don't know. Joe and I were old friends a long time ago. I haven't seen him in almost 16 years now.
I see. So I assume you may have known him when he was still with Miranda's mother?
Oh yeah, well it wasn't exactly like that at the time, but I haven't got to meet Miranda yet, actually. You see, but there was
She's
he's
a
talked to me a
lovely
bit.
young lady.
She is lovely.
Oh, but I'm glad to hear y'all say that, but for real, hear it from Joe's mouth, she's the sun, the moon, the stars, and all that, right?
That sounds about right.
Apollo starts to say something and then has to stop himself.
Oh, that's me.
Wait. Oh, yeah.
Not allowed to say that. That one back in the box.
No, hold on. What did Sita, Joe, and Garth all fucking miss?
Oh, the sun, like
Because he's the sun.
Because he's the sun.
Apollo's.
Because he's Apollo. That's all.
You're a human. I'm not allowed to say that. But that
I am the sun. Okay, back in. Yeah, well, back in that time, man, I never got to know the girl's name. She was always kind of hanging out quiet. I swear I heard it, but I just can't remember it no more. It's been years, but it's the way you could tell when they were together. That's how he saw her too. So
the way human memories fade.
A what now?
Memories.
Life. Yeah, memories. They just.
Yeah.
You were saying.
What about Joe? Well, let me ask you now. Joe and I had some circles back in the day. The two of you seem like a kind of odd comparison. How do y'all know Joe?
Oh, you know Joe. Joe runs with all sorts of people.
Well, he sure enough does these days, don't he? He's got himself Twitch famous. Shaking his big old butt. Maybe I should take a video of him now. Maybe I should stick that up on Twitch, see how they think about that.
That would be fantastic. Not the puking part, but the two of you together. I mean, you'd both get a lot of views on that, just saying.
Yes.
No, that's smart. Yeah, that's why Fable's doing well. I mean, don't get me wrong, talented musician, hands down. Just
Extremely.
from the bottom of my heart, the man plays with soul. But in the biz this many years, I can tell you, it takes a powerful musician, powerful performer, a powerful manager behind him.
3 more years, Mr. Brooks.
The door to the green room opens up, and an older gentleman with long braided hair comes in and says, Garth, have you seen Joe? Last time I saw him. Oh, I'm sorry, you've got company here. I'm Willie.
It is a pleasure to meet you, Mr. Nelson.
Right, it's nice to meet you too. I told him not to mix, it might have been too much for him. I'm sorry about that.
That's all right.
You can tell he's got some shit on his mind.
I didn't mean to interrupt. I'm just gonna go head back to my room now.
Why don't you come on in for a minute, man? You got a second?
By all means.
Right, yeah. Yep, please. Yeah. How nice to meet you. My name's Willie.
Meredith.
I am a fan. Beer for my horses.
That's right. That's one of them.
Please come in. Get comfortable.
I don't
Always
mind
wanted
if
to
I
smoke
do.
with Willie Nelson.
I'm just gonna sit down over here now. Sits down on the couch, kind of sinks into it.
Do we get to smoke with Garth Brooks and Willie Nelson now?
Now, do any of y'all partake by any chance? Or do you mind if Garth is always such a stickler about me lighting up in his rooms, but you know what?
I do not, but I do not mind.
I do, and I also do not mind. Please.
From the bathroom, you hear Joe go, I can't believe I'm missing this.
And suddenly the night turns into a blur.
It was already
Everyone-
a blur for Apollo.
Everyone ends up on the news tomorrow. As Willie Nelson was seen hanging out of a town car driving through
The
downtown
headline
Dallas.
just says, Attorney Apollo James, high treason? Not clickbait.
It's a tiny amount of video clip that is setting it all off, and it's just like a 8-second clip of maybe you chasing a naked Joe through just some space, through some woods or maybe a parking lot or something. It's just like you trying to track him down at 4:00 in the morning.
Then somebody
Oh,
puts a
Mickey,
filter
yeah.
over it and puts it on YouTube, and it just says Bigfoot sighting.
Yes.
It's Joe
Yes.
giving Willie Nelson a piggyback ride while Garth Brooks is...
Mr. Nelson, please be careful. You're very frail.
Whiskey for my man.
I got friends in the places where the whiskey flows and the bear chases.
My blues away. Now she okay. What are we
So
doing?
that happens.
Johnny would have
I
loved.
don't know.
Johnny would have loved y'all. I'm just saying.
Oh, of course. Pour one out.
Knew it
All
was
right.
gonna
It's
come up.
derail the whole campaign and just play
Can we
this
just do a
out
campaign
for
where we play
weeks.
Garth Brooks, Willie Nelson, someone else plays Johnny Cash,
And Apollo's there.
and Apollo?
Just
Yeah.
Apollo's just there.
But they all hunt vampires.
Yes.
Okay, let's workshop this.
Yeah.
Session 0 next week.
Yeah.
Next week.
So I guess that happens.
Yeah.
I feel good about the energy in the studio.
Meredith totally jams with Willie Nelson
Yeah.
and Garth Brooks at some point once she gets very, very intoxicated.
Apollo's having a great time.
I did want to do a scene between Morrigan and Hela that maybe is on the next day as the news is breaking on all of this is blowing up social media.
Anything else happening tonight?
Yes, anything else happening tonight between everyone getting stoned with?
Apollo doesn't get stoned.
Oh, that's right. Paul's just high on life.
Yeah.
Yeah. And a little
He's having a
drunk,
great
probably.
time. And a little drunk.
Apollo DDs and make sure everybody gets back safe.
Yeah, I imagine his metabolism very quickly burns off alcohol.
Yeah.
That
And
makes
any of
sense.
that residual weed smoke that.
Oh yeah, that room gets hotboxed. Holy
Yeah.
shit. Maybe on the car ride back, Meredith is getting a little sleepy, having just crossfaded a little bit. That was a very nice time.
I'm glad.
Did you hear me singing with Willie Nelson?
Yes, you sounded wonderful. You're
Thank
a good
you.
singer.
Thank you. So are you going to kiss me or should I?
You're very high.
Yes.
No.
She's going to use her magic to sober up.
Okay. Are you spending a token or taking it? I'm
Spending a
just kidding.
token. Yeah.
We don't
It doesn't
have,
work
I don't
and
thi-
she gets more
I don't think
high.
we've done those magic rolls yet. And
Yeah,
honestly,
not yet.
I don't know. We can just wing
We'll
it.
go with it.
Go
We'll
with
go
it.
with
Yeah, you can spend a token to sober up for the scene.
She'll sober
And
up.
that token goes to. I'm just kidding. I don't know. I think that one just gets spent.
Cool. Better.
May I kiss you?
Yes.
The kiss.
And they kiss.
The kiss.
The kiss.
And Willie tries not to watch.
Wait, Willie's coming back with us?
Yeah, Willie's in the rest of the campaign now. I'm making Willie Nelson my third NPC.
Yes!
No. I also just had the thought of negotiating for you sobering up by somebody else getting like really crossfaded, just like out of nowhere, just transferring it to someone else. Wakes up with just a huge hangover.
Oh, sure. They pass by that bar. They're almost on their way back, and she just passes it off to some poor sop in there.
Or Nemesis. No,
Or no.
that would be mean to Hela. Okay. I'm going to
Helen
change this
Morrigan?
off the... Huh?
Helen Morrigan. You're gonna talk.
Yes. Yes, I would like to do that. Since this is kind of both of their plot that just was fulfilled here. Where at? Hela's room? Have we seen Hela's room yet? You're muted.
Yes, last time.
Okay. Right. I'm remembering One Direction posters. That's not right.
No, I did say there were band posters and stuff.
Okay. That was
Not
just
One
me.
Direction.
Yeah.
He seems more like a
BTS,
BTS fan.
probably.
Okay.
Me and Sid are sharing the brain cell today.
Yep.
Knocks on your door.
Who is it?
It's Morrigan.
Oh.
Are you alone in there? Can we talk?
Yeah, come in.
Slides in. Rise and shine, early bird. Have you seen the news?
No.
I recommend checking out social media before we have this conversation.
Oh.
Right.
Okay.
You sort of set up a... What was it? Set up a ball for me and I spiked it.
I can see that.
I do appreciate it.
I just thought it was funny.
I do too. But I also think it's going to help us in the long run with our plans.
How's that?
You don't see it.
I see a lot more of my grandfather than I ever wanted to.
I actually didn't know that he was going to be there. But I think... I can't imagine that's going to do any more damage for his credibility.
He has a habit of showing up places. So, this is part of the plan. Meredith chilling out for once and Apollo being happy? Not that that changes much for him.
That's the first step of it, yeah. Getting both of them on the same wavelength. You have a connection with Meredith. Me too, but two of you seem to get along fairly well. Meredith hates me depending on the day.
Oh, she doesn't hate you. She just doesn't trust you. Big difference.
But I think this goes a long way towards goodwill between the two of us, so perhaps she might be more inclined to tolerate me. And if the two of us start hinting at certain plans, certain people we don't want to have around anymore.
You want to rope Meredith in and by extension Apollo.
I don't know how much of it that Apollo could quite comprehend, but I imagine he'll do whatever Meredith does.
I don't think you give the man enough credit.
Perhaps I
But
don't.
you're probably right. I assume you want me to talk to Meredith.
Give it a bit of time, but once she seems nice and enamored.
You keep sending me on errands, I'm gonna have to up my step goal.
I'm sure that you can handle it.
I know I can handle it, I just don't know where you get off telling me what to do.
You wanted my help, did you not?
I'm pretty sure you
This is
came to me.
Because
Did I
you
dream that?
wanted my help.
Oh, is this one of those things that you just know? I'm pretty sure like 90% of those are full shit.
You'll never know. How are things going between you and Nemesis?
Terrible. Thanks for asking.
Really?
Oh, she hates me. Not enough to not bang me, but she hates me. So.
But that does show a certain affinity towards you that she doesn't seem to have for anyone else.
There is exactly one thing that she likes about me.
Continue to use that to your advantage then.
Why are you still telling me what to do?
I'm just trying to push you so that you can get the things that you want.
Think you're trying to use me.
And why ever would I do that?
Because you're a conniving bitch.
Fair.
I don't mean it as an insult.
I didn't think you did.
But I'm under no illusions that you're doing this so I can get something out.
Perhaps.
You want to keep playing the cool older sister, whatever, have fun. I just don't buy it.
Can't we just be friends?
Yeah. You start acting like a friend, less like a weird boss who wants to pretend she's my friend.
All right. These aren't orders, they're recommendations. We are equals in the Pantheon, after all. I can't tell you what to do. I simply think it would be beneficial to both of us if Nemesis was happy around you, specifically.
She is today.
Oh, good. Maybe then we can continue that then.
We? I don't think that's really her style.
Not really mine either. I prefer to be the center of attention.
I never would have guessed that about you.
But either way, that gets Nemesis, Apollo, Meredith, yourself, myself, all on the same page.
Yeah?
So, that leaves us with Joe being the obvious wild card here. And, well, Mars.
He'll do whatever Apollo does. They share a brain cell.
As long as he doesn't know that I'm the one involved with it. Probably.
Just won't tell him.
And we have to keep Loki from finding out. We'll probably need something to pin all this on him. So I'd be thinking about that.
Oh, I am, trust me.
But if we can get Joe to agree that perhaps it was Loki's influence that kept him in the first place from revealing himself and breaking the covenant.
I seriously doubt that's gonna happen.
Probably
He's
not.
on this whole like redemption arc thing right now.
It would be the easiest road to where we're trying to get to, but if not, I'm sure we can find something else. I'm sure Loki has a few skeletons in his closet.
More than a few.
I have to imagine.
And under his bed and
Just in his pockets. Just bones.
Skeletons
In
everywhere.
Fucking skeleton.
Pocket bones.
It's like a cartoon
Ow.
Halloween special.
Fucking Scooby Doo.
they're real skeletons, but he like installs lights and voice recordings in them, so they spring up and go.
Fucking vampire in the covered in curses drawn.
God.
Oh, Lordy.
The thing is that I was considering, though, is if we're going to be getting Loki in trouble, and if we're not going to be able to pin the actions of your grandfather onto him, then he's going to have done something that would upset everyone here even more than what Joe did.
Does he
Which-
not just by existing?
Technically, no, unless he's done something to break the covenant. So I think we need to find an instance in which he has done just that.
Okay.
But it seems we might have bought Joe some time to give us to put these plans into motion. I don't suppose you got any indication from Nemesis whether it should be 4, 6 months or so to give us time for the trial.
Yeah, actually. I think everyone is on board with giving it some time. What'd she say? Letting cooler heads prevail.
Your pillow talk must be thrilling.
Oh, we don't talk.
That does seem more of her style. I'll think about it another time. Anyway, that seems to be all of the business we needed to... Or I'm sorry, not business. But that seems to be everything we need to discuss. Is there anything else I can do for you?
I'm getting really mixed signals from you.
Not in that way, love. No.
No offense, you're not really my type.
You're not mine either.
I'm everyone's type.
So, I guess we'll just see how today's meeting goes.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
Are you wanting to like hang out and do pedicures or like what?
No, I believe that I might have a bath ready for me.
That sounds nice.
Just let me know when when Meredith and Apollo come stumbling
When
back.
I've done all the work for you, I will.
I just asked you to let me know when they get back. It takes a while to get the blood off.
Right. You have fun.
I will. I always do. And she leaves.
Yeah, no, not my type.
Anything else? Because we can probably close. Oh, God.
I think. Yeah. I think Fenrir might have picked up on the fact that Odin wasn't in limbo. And like if we were playing D&D, I'd be like, yo, we gotta have a fight between Odin and Fenrir right here. We gotta make this a fucking scene right now. But in this style of game, I don't think it would probably happen like that, right? So I think from like a story point of view, like the best timing for that might be in like the dreary 7 a.m. of the next day, after we've been hanging out with Garth and Willie all night long, and everybody is making their way. Like we've separated from our favorite country music stars, and we're all headed back to the truck stop. And Joe is like, y'all are gods, but it's like mortal bodies too, right? So like Joe is wrecked. He's done for the night. He He's in a bad way at this time. So maybe you all had to take him back, like with one or both of you, however, depending on you guys were traveling. And I'm imagining that regardless of that, crossing the parking lot into the truck stop, Fenrir was there and just like waited until perhaps the two of you had gone through and Joe was the last one to step through and full on attacked him then and there. Because Fenrir isn't playing games. He's not a god. He's not trying to fuck around with politics or rules. He's got a mission, and it's to kill the man who tricked them. And
so I guess with the way we can resolve it too is because you kind of have to play it through the scope of both characters. So like, if like Fenrir is attacking or like taking this like opportunity to attack Odin or to attack Joe, then it would typically be like Fenrir spending the token to do that to Joe, and then like the negotiation between. So like, how does that turn out for the two of them?
Okay. So I think there's a few elements in play there. Fenrir is a supernatural being, but he's not a powered, worshipped god. He's an immortal part of the whole story system, but he's no Allfather, and Joe is. But on the other side of that, Joe is also deep in this mortal body and far away from the kind of metaphysicalness that is Odin, and is also super drunk and stoned and passed out and just like half conscious walking. So I think that Fenrir mauls him, hurts Joe's body very badly. I think that the initial strike wakes Joe up just enough to be able to put up a feeble offense, but it's really just like a stalling of time, and this goes on for a while until literal police are involved. I know I'm making a thick fucking mess of this location, but that's what I'm doing right now. And I think that Fenrir does not let up until he has to flee and not get caught. And Joe's unconscious, mangled god body is hauled off to a hospital.
I was kind of, can I just give one visual that maybe changes the scene just slightly?
Oh,
is
please.
that
Yeah.
Maybe what happens is makes it like Joe's just like able enough as we're all like sitting down at the table to like have this conversation and figure out, okay, like this is what the next step is going to be. We're going to wait 6 months, and then we're all like waiting for Joe to show up. It's like through the open doors, like Joe walks, like opens the door, like bloodied, and just like passes out in the door frame after being mauled by Fenrir. And that's where our chapter ends, is everybody's like reaction shots from that.
Yeah, and like through the open doorway you see the grinning, malicious, bloodied mouth, like Fenrir like crouched over almost, and again we can all see him as both his mortal frame and his god and his wolf frame, so it's almost like seeing him as like a werewolf. I'm imagining like this werewolf version of Fenrir in the same like biker clothes, covered in blood up to his fucking elbows and all over his face, just grinning at all of you through the door frame past Joe's bloody unconscious body. And
then with sirens in the distance, he bails.
Yeah.
And that's where it ends. I love that. It's amazing. Okay, it was a good. I think that's a good cap on this chapter, this volume of our story. So, and also nearing the end of our session. So, probably what we'll do is we'll pick up. I was thinking we'd pick up next time with probably some little bit of a time gap. Everybody like gone back to their own areas while we're waiting out this time for the next trial. I don't know if Joe's going to be in the hospital or
Figure that out.
yeah, or we can decide that next time. Maybe do some visitations or whatever we want to do and all that stuff. Good session, y'all. So yeah, we don't have time to do. We'll start next time again with the between. I guess this would be the end of our first cycle too, wouldn't it? Did anyone monologue this cycle? Did we all forget to do monologue tokens?
What is qualified as a monologue though? Because we're all kind of long-winded.
So a monologue token is a specific action that any of us can take where we all have one. We can spend a token to have somebody else do an internal monologue for like what their character is thinking in any given scene. Yeah.
You're gonna remember them now, aren't you?
Yeah. And so you can spend them on other people, and so that they will monologue like what's going through their character's mind.
Only if they haven't already done it, though.
If they haven't done it, everybody only has to monologue once per cycle.
I prefer gets to monologue once.
Gets to monologues.
You know how I am.
Val, did you not call somebody out session 1 on a monologue?
I think we had a chat redemption.
We did, yeah.
Monologue because the chat can do it at any time.
Monologues.
Yeah,
Okay.
which for a mini monologue, we just say like it doesn't. You don't have to do like go into as much detail. You can do as much or little as you want. We just call them mini monologues. We usually end up doing just as much as we would, but yeah. So that means what we'll have to do next time is do some monologues to start everything off with, and we can decide whether the monologues are happening like at what point they happened during the chapter, and what they were in reaction to. So
We'll have reputation and letters too.
We'll have some other cool stuff. Yeah, reputation letters, more rumors, and then we'll start getting into our inner conflicts, I think, right?
Yeah.
First chapter. Yeah. So all that fun stuff as we end our first cycle. And what a cycle it was. We had a lot of drama, a lot of shit happening. This has been
We got those,
how wild it gets when
we
there's
got that romance wishes started though.
Yeah, we did. Which actually,
Everybody's
let's go
saying
ahead.
it's more romance. It's
Me,
begun.
I did a lot of romance.
You did a lot.
I did a lot of it.
Our wishes. So I'll mark off ones that we have fulfilled. So let's see. More intergodly romance drama ×3.
You're welcome.
We've checked one of those.
I think we checked at least 2 today.
We've done a
We've
done a bunch. Like we've gotten some godly flashbacks. We want more of those. Hella and Joe relationship development, which I imagine we'll get in the fallout from this attack with Fenrir and stuff. God, magic, and powers being used, which we did have some of that today. Big Ace Attorney trial, which is still on hold. Romance.
Apollo Justice.
Apollo and Mars antics.
Antics!
We got some of that today. And then more
Pocket sand.
Pocket sand.
Pocket sand.
So, stars and wishes for today, though. Let's do those first. Anybody? Go for it, Sita.
God damn it, Jela. The way that Jela just tells the Morrigan to fuck clear the hell off is incredible.
Because Hella
scene,
respects her.
I'm willing to deal with you, but fuck you for even trying to manipulate me. Like, do you think I'm a fucking idiot? Like, god damn, I'm the goddess of fucking you're the goddess of maybe death. I'm the goddess of undeath. Fuck off. Like, I just get this nasty vibe of Jela's definitely the badder bitch somehow in that particular exchange, and it's beautiful. I love it. With a secondary star for I love how manipulative and Machiavellian the Morrigan is already being. Like, it's great. I'm having so much fun there. Wishes. I would love to see some. I'm a big fan of flashbacks with the series already. We haven't done a whole lot of them, but like I just feel it being a big part of how this series, the story kind of tells itself. I would love to see some Mars and Apollo flashbacks, maybe a long ass time ago, maybe when they were slightly different people. If that's the way it goes.
Like when one of them might have been Aries.
What they were like. Huh?
I said like when one of them might have been Aries.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah. And Apollo was still Apollo, but with one less L.
Okay, I'll add that to the list. Cool. Who's next?
I can go.
Okay, go
My
for it.
star goes to Val for just the date. That was just so sweet. Like, and again, so sweet that both Meredith and Sid were like, what the hell is this? What's going on? Waiting for the shoe to drop. What the fuck? But it was lovely. Thank you.
You're at an Italian restaurant before the concert.
Like,
Well, fuck.
come on. Also just for incorporating Willie Nelson. Thank you for that. That
You are welcome.
yeah, that was pretty great. Wish I actually want to see the Morrigan get up to some more shenanigans. Like we've definitely seen some the back and forth with Jela and some of this other stuff going on, but I know this bish has like 1,400 other plates spinning right now, so I definitely want to see some of that.
So two things. I just put more-igen shenanigans, Morrigan shenanigans on the wish list. And two, it's very easy to plot when you just do things with no intention of what your actual. The only way I can play these characters is totally head empty of just like doing things and coming up with justifications for them afterwards.
Hell yeah.
Which isn't how the Morrigan is doing things.
Just setting up a domino, having no idea where the next one is.
Like the Morrigan has a whole plan for this. I, Val, have no idea what that plan is. I'm going to figure that out as we go.
Yeah.
So I don't want anyone thinking that like I'm sitting here with like GM brain, like coming up with this like insane plot or something. I'm not. I'm flying by the seat of my pants, doing all of this.
But that is my
As
GM
we
brain.
are wont to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's how my GM brain works.
Yeah, that's how mine works too, but don't tell anyone. Because no one hears any games that I run.
No, not at all.
Awesome. Thank you, Sid. Savannah, do you want to do yours or do you want me to do mine?
I'll go.
Okay, go.
My star is gonna go to Mr. Garth Brooks.
Yes.
That characterization of him was actually pretty spot on.
Yeah.
I feel like I threw in a
I
little bit
loved
much
it.
Nashville, like.
No, it was
Yeah.
great.
It was
No,
exactly
I thought
how
it
I
was great.
imagine him, like behind the scenes, like
Yeah.
just like super chill.
Yeah, no,
I had
I just really enjoyed that whole.
So good.
I think he's from. No, Garth Brooks is from Oklahoma.
I do want to have
I
a
had to look.
challenge at some point where I have to bounce back and forth between being Joe and Garth in an extended conversation. So I have to. No, actually, God, here's a challenge to break me. I want to play Fable, Garth, and Joe in the same conversation for
See,
a while.
we'll all just go take a bathroom break, grab a drink,
Yeah.
Just do that.
Like just
That's what our
see
next
just
break will
goes.
be. Is you
Two,
Yeah.
two different types of redneck and a British accent all at the same time. What?
Yeah.
What if all three of them get invited onto like a late night talk show to do like an interview thing? And so like it's just one of us as the interviewer asking all of them questions.
They all end up on Jimmy Fallon,
Sure,
and Jimmy
yeah.
Fallon makes them play that game where they have to do impressions of other people.
Yes.
Yeah, if you want to see me have a fucking aneurysm on screen.
Sita just
Joe doing an
dies.
impression as Sita doing Joe, doing Garth.
Doing Robin
Doing an
Williams.
impression,
Doing Ariana Grande.
Ariana Grande. Yes.
Yeah.
The brain cell.
The brain cell.
But yeah, that's fine. And also my star goes to the entire cast for putting up with just everything I say as Apollo. Can you tell that I just go completely out? I'm not in there. There's no one in there.
Dude, I actually love his responses because they're all just incredibly honest and to the point.
Yeah.
They're, like,
Don't think
direct
about
what you
them.
would expect him to say. No.
I don't think about them
No.
at all.
No.
Not even the Mr. Brooks thing. That just happened.
That was so good.
What's
I
your
have to just
wish?
leave like the lights on, but nobody's home. That idiot. I love him.
I love that movie.
A wish.
I was gonna try to ask Garth Brooks what it was like to work with Dane Cook, but I didn't get that far. It's fine.
Is your wish for more Apollo Garth Brooks interactions?
I mean, yeah. My well, that is a real wish. I'm enjoying having Mr. Brooks here on the show. My wish is for Hella to have some like actual romance.
Yeah.
They're gonna have to get over themselves a little bit first, but for the right person.
Don't worry, we'll find you a very nice boy or a girl. I don't care anymore. Like, oh, it's a different age, you know. But we'll find somebody very nice for you. Just settle down with them. It'll be adorable. I fucking love it.
So your grandfather is Joe, but your grandmother is apparently a Yiddish
Mel
woman?
Brooks.
I'm not sure.
I was going to say
Also
Mel,
Mr.
so now Mel
Brooks.
Brooks is here. You were thinking the exact same thing.
Amazing.
I am so head empty that I'm in everybody else's head.
I thought you were about to go a different direction. Say I'm so head empty that now I'm sharing thoughts with Val.
No, that would be mean.
But true.
That's never stopped me before.
I'll do mine.
Can I
My
make
star.
another wish?
Yeah. What's your other wish?
The whole time we've been doing
You've
stars
done
and
3.
wishes,
So
my brain is going, I wish with all my heart to fly with dragons in a land apart.
So you
Can I
wanna
wish for
fly with-
dragons?
okay, dragons
Thank you.
with
That's
an
all.
exclamation point.
I need to go.
Dragons.
Dragons.
It's not my fault.
Dragons. Over here.
Dragons.
It's not my fault.
Baby dragons.
That is a very niche.
Dragon.
Us, Savannah and I shouting every time dragons come. We're
Dragons!
but every time dragons comes up, Savannah and I shout, "Dragons,
Dragons.
over here! It's not my fault." And
In a
the
real heavy
reason
Jersey
why
accent.
is a very specific reference to what was that?
It's a very specific episode of
Hell's Kitchen.
not Hell's Kitchen. Fuck. The one where he goes to the restaurants and tries to save them. Kitchen Nightmares.
Kitchen
Kitchen
Nightmares.
Nightmares.
Very specific episode of Kitchen Nightmares where it goes to like some sort of eatery in Jersey and somebody yells that. And for 8 years, Savannah and I have yelled that every
It was
time
like their
somebody says
local
dragons.
sports team. That was like the mascot, and the sports team was like gonna come to the reopening of the restaurant or something. And the guy gets pissed, and he sounds like Cake Boss when he shouts. It's very
Yeah,
funny.
and
He
he
said, "Dragons!"
shouts, and there's a
Oh,
specific
yeah!
clip that they play.
It's not
of
my
him
fault!
going, dragons. Oh yeah, it's not my fault. It's like 3 different things. Anyway, I had to explain to somebody because we've done that so many times and never explained
Yeah,
to
we
anybody
sound
where that
insane.
comes from. Yeah, we sound absolutely mad when that happens. Anyway,
And then sometimes
okay.
we go, baby.
And then that the
Dragon.
more
Even though half
noticeable
the
reference.
group hasn't even watched Yu-Gi-Oh.
hasn't heard of a Yu-Gi-Oh.
Well, I mean, why would they? Because, you know, there's a superior card game.
Are you gonna say
Jizz.
Magic or are you gonna say
You're gonna say-
Pokemon?
Jesus Christ! Like those are fucking options,
I
Sam.
only said
Like
that to make you
that's
angry.
like those are 2 comparable fucking things.
I only said it because I knew you'd shout at me.
Ah!
Or Uno.
Oh
Skippo?
no.
You know what?
Hippo.
I'd
Skippo's
be
the
quick to
obvious
say that
answer.
Uno is a
that what it costs?
comparable fucking thing.
I'm gonna go get out my stack of magic
Risk.
cards and show how much of a nerd I am.
Right in the closet.
No, I'm not in the closet anymore. You know that.
Does that
Happy Pride, everybody.
Happy Pride.
So
Should I do mine? Should we
Is
finish
it-
the
have
show?
you not
at
gone
some
yet?
Yeah. Go ahead. Go.
Okay,
Go ahead. Go.
my star's gonna go to Sid because I liked the look on your
Adrian.
face at the whole time I was doing that date. Was priceless. I enjoyed every second of that.
Your shoulders were in your ears.
Oh, it was so great. And then my second star will go to because we're doing like 6 stars now. My second star goes to Savannah for just playing off me very well all day between Morrigan and Nemesis, talking to Hela, and just the back and forth was
Head empty,
absolutely
bro.
great. And my wish is to do more of this sort of shit with the celebrity like Reddit's like us going to real places and interacting
Means
with
I can put
famous
Bon
people
Jovi
and
in
stuff.
here.
Yes, Bon Jovi.
So I'm gonna put more celebrity cameos
Yes.
because that was fun.
what are you? I'm an idiot sandwich, sir.
Gordon
Dude,
Ramsay
I-
on the
I
show.
Gordon
Yeah.
is coming.
A
Gordon
heartbeat.
is
Oh
coming.
yeah, what if Gordon Ramsay and
Oh.
Joe comes to Joe's food
Joe
truck?
goes on
Wait,
Oh,
Guy
Hell's
Fieri.
God.
Guy.
Guy.
No, it would have to be Gordon Ramsay. If Guy Fieri showed up to Joe's,
They'd just
thing,
be
Joe
friends.
They would
like
be best
feed him And
friends.
just kind of treat him like anybody else and kind of ignore
Can I have
him.
another wish?
But Guy Fieri's
Yes.
amazing.
It's for Guy Fieri and Joe to bro out.
yeah.
Yes.
And also
Sorry.
Apollo
Fieri's
and
a
Mars are
great
there.
guy.
I want, okay, I'm just.
Oh fuck! Just the 4 of us on like a guy's
4 of 'em.
camping trip.
Yeah.
But if Apollo and Mars are there and Joe's there, Val, that means you have to play Guy Fieri.
Yeah.
I can do that. I can bring
yeah.
my Guy Fieri.
All right.
That would be great.
I
Love a
love
camp
Guy
out
Fieri, unironically. I think he's great.
Yeah,
He's a great
actually,
guy.
it seems like a pretty swell guy.
He's got a taco restaurant here.
He does a
And
lot
honestly,
of charitable work.
I do not envy
He's
the
got cool hair.
work that his cardiologist probably does.
I don't know. He's at like a real high energy level all the time, so I imagine he burns a lot of it
just
off.
Burns right through it. Anyway, let's wrap it up because we're 11 minutes over.
But I'm having such a good time.
I know. We got off. The problem is we roleplay so hard that we don't do enough tangents during the game, so we do
do
all
a
of
lot
our
of it.
tangents after the game.
At the end, yeah.
Yeah. Boy. Okay. Thank you everyone for watching. We will be back next week to continue our game. Join us tomorrow for Saturday night's Pathfinders. We'll be playing Pathfinder 5 o'clock, Pathfinder 2nd Edition at 5 o'clock Eastern Time.
I blow
come
stuff
join
up in
us.
that one.
Yeah, blow stuff up, and I die in that one.
We got you
so-
back.
It sounded so passive aggressive when I said that. I regretted it as soon as
They
I
got
said
better.
those words.
Better.
They got better.
I'm coming back. But yeah, so join us for that, and then we got other shows throughout the week. I don't think we have anything else. Any other things to plug, promote?
No, just
It's
come watch the
not
rest of
doing
our
that
shit.
big.
It's good.
Yeah, all of our stuff. It's fun.
And it's
But
Pride Month.
Happy Pride.
We're gonna be obnoxious as
Pride.
you can't stop us. There are so many bisexuals on this call. We're gonna be insufferable
It's gonna be
for the next
really.
month.
Yes,
Yeah.
enjoy yourselves.
Be proud.
Be
We're
proud.
proud
Be
of you.
loud, be proud. We will see everyone, but definitely be back here next week for the continuation of our game. And until next time, good game and good night, Internet.